You ready, Scar?
Yeah, so I'm gonna jump in Nigel's.
Yeah, I may not start Nigel's right away because we want to make sure that.
Whoa, I'm hearing double. That's not good. Turn that crap off.
Right,
Okay. Anyway.
So
So you want me in your game, Jawa?
No, I'm not going to jump into Nigel's just yet. Is what I'm saying.
So just stay in the party and don't jump into anything yet, because Nigel's game hasn't even started yet.
Right. So I'm going to wait until because we were right at dawn, and we want to be at night when the stream ends. Night should be.
It's supposed to be like 45 minutes in or an hour. Yeah, so that's good. You wouldn't if we started a little bit early. That probably wouldn't hurt you because night's fairly long. Okay. But anyway, we are live. So let's see. We're definitely live on Mixer. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. Yep, we're on all the places. And let me just reload the restream chat real quick. Make sure I can see everybody who's talking. I'm gonna make a little testing message here. Testing! Exclamation point. Make sure that people can see me, that I can see them.
I don't like about Restream is it sort of like shows.
Well, people are already entering the giveaway we haven't announced yet. So, nice work, Short Bus. That's his actual name. I'm not calling him a weird nickname.
Short Bus special.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Nice. So yeah, we are gonna do a giveaway. We're giving away these suckers. These little pins, these glow-in-the-dark Bronto Gas State of Decay 2 pins. So, I don't know if exclamation point enter actually works yet. I don't know if Megan has to manually turn that on, and if it only starts at the beginning of the official stream, or what. So, definitely do it later, just in case, you know, if you missed your chance. Okay, if the bot says thanks for entering, I think it means it probably worked, but I don't know how it works technically. Megan is the expert on that, so I'll defer to her or whatever she ends up saying. Scump, you can't buy them online. They were a special thing. Just I think we had them at E3, and the only way you can get them is to be on our stream and be very lucky. So.
Can I win in Ireland? Yes, you can.
Yeah, as long as. As long as we can mail it to you. I think this isn't like a formal contest that would be regulated by the different like different rules in different countries and stuff like that. I believe that because this is just a giveaway, we're just giving stuff away. There's less rules, and so I think we can usually ship it to other countries.
Wait, what are you talking about there, Ouchie?
What's Ouchie saying?
State of Decay Yos for free on Xbox Insider?
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I shaved Glass Babies.
Oh, Maxie's saying that we sound bad. That maybe, am I using the wrong mic again? I don't think so. I'm using the wrong mic. Let me. Oh, we are kind of peaking. Crap, maybe we are using the wrong mic. Hold on, let's check.
Test.
Device default. What? Hold on.
Test.
Stop it. So I can't even hear the mic. So mic. Where did I fix it before? I don't even remember. I don't know how this works. Why would I know how anything works?
Leah.
Oh look, Leah's here. I'm trying to fix our audio in case it's bad.
So I get to hang out with Joe?
People are complaining that our audio might be bad.
Uh-oh.
So it says default, which means it's probably wrong. What I want it is to be USB audio codec. So I just changed it.
Is that better?
It looks like it might. I'm peaking less on the bars here. I guess you know what I might have to do. I might have to unmute Mixer so that I can hear my own voice. So just a second.
That's really delayed and weird.
How about mine?
Okay, I should listen for you. So Joe is going to talk now.
I'm going to talk and say words.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we have now verified that our mic is a lot better than we feared. So look, it's Leah, everybody.
Hi!
It's Leah.
I don't know what camera to look at.
Okay, so this is you.
That's
look
me.
at that camera, yeah.
Okay, I got it.
So actually, let me see. I think I could probably include you a little bit more in the framing there.
You need headphones, though.
Oh yeah, you can hear. So we've also
have
got ScarProof on the line. He's not going to be planning on talking that much, but if you want to hear him or hear the game, headphones are good. You don't need the mic. You can just slap the mic up there if you want to.
Looking cool.
We've got all kinds of guests today, guys. We've got Joe Swarner, of course, who is okay. Wait, I'm stepping on your mic cable.
Yep.
Your mic cable is short, and I don't know
Mine's
why.
long.
It's okay. You're doing fine then.
Am I stepping on yours too?
No, we're good. We're good now.
Perfect.
I need to
Better.
untangle these suckers, but not right now because we're on the air. But yeah, we've got Joe, who's going to be talking about some of the bugs that we see in Heartland. We got Leah here, who made some of Heartland, and including some of the bugs.
Yep.
And also me, I did the same thing. And we also got ScarProof, who may or may not decide to talk to us very much, but he's going to be Joe's co-op partner. ScarProof, you there?
Yeah, I'm just listening to you guys.
All right, cool. He's not going to do very much of that. I just put him on the spot. I'm not going to be doing that very much. So I might put you on the spot once just to introduce your existence, ScarProof, but I'm not going to make you talk unless you feel like it.
We need cozier chairs.
No problem.
We're all separated.
Cozier chairs, like a
Yeah. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so
No, we should
I feel like I'm
have
super far away from
fancy
you guys
memory
all.
foam, everything. So I'm going to try to adjust Joe's camera so it's not catching Leah.
Oh, okay. Should I just scooch
Justin.
closer to you?
No.
I can just lean.
There's no way you can scooch. that's gonna get you out of that frame. So
Oh.
let me. Yeah. So I think that works, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, see, there's worse things in the world than having two Leahs. But there are many times where we've wanted to have two Leahs around here and we haven't been able to pull it off. So
Probably drive myself crazy.
we have to sit you at opposite sides of the
Well, it
room, so
depends.
everybody
Yeah.
can
We
get
get two
like.
Lunas.
Maybe. Luna.
Would you? Huh?
2 Lunas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll do two Lunas.
That's my dog.
That's her dog.
For people who don't know my dog.
So we've got 5 minutes to go until we're going to do the proper stream. So be thinking about your Heartland mission questions, especially about Quincy and Larice and Fiona and Helena, because that was your jam.
Yeah.
And, and of course, if you want to complain about bugs, feel free to. We might not acknowledge your bugs, though. Joe specifically has got a list that he wants to talk about. And we probably, honestly, like, each bug, we've got a bunch of testers out there. We got a bunch of developers in the other room. And each bug probably has 2 or 3 people at the studio who knows all about it. And so the chances of us knowing the details of a particular bug you happen to bring up are probably pretty low. So if you want to talk about bugs in the chat, feel free. We might ignore ones if we have no idea what to say to them. I should say.
I have not had my face scanned, by the way. I have a question on there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she has not had her face scanned.
Maze one.
I have had my face scanned, but we haven't used it yet.
Right?
What was the word with that surprise patch? You mean 9.2 or 9.1?
1. It's 9.1. Yeah.
Is that what you're referring to there, Mafika?
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah. So basically, we knew we had a couple of like story blocking bugs that we needed to get a fix out as fast as we could.
Yeah, specifically it was around the death of Captain Logan and some other characters when it came to like Heart of the Matter, and
that was another thing we were going to do. We were going to go through the patch notes today. I completely forgot.
Oh, we
so
are?
I'm going to find
Fix
that.
so many bugs for you guys.
So we were in this chat. Were we in this chat? Yeah, Aaron sent me a link to Confluence, and it's not this page, but it's a related.
we don't
page.
want to read those patch notes.
No, we're not going to read you guys the patch notes for things we haven't released yet. That's going to be that would be a scandal and a half. So no, we're not doing that. But okay, so I've got the patch notes
I don't
for
think I put my bugs on that one.
for 9.1. What?
I didn't add my patch notes for bugs for that one.
Apparently for
So I just
So
asked
bad about those.
Patrick, our development director, what the patch notes were, and he said these ones, and so I just put them on there.
Cool.
So
Deal.
there were probably
it.
more bugs
It's
fixed than
Brad.
we acknowledged. Oh look,
Fix
Brand's
lots of
coming.
bugs, guys.
I had to watch the women win the world, the
Did we win?
semi. Yeah.
Nice. Take that, all you English people in chat.
USA.
I guess.
Oh, no.
USA. Oh no, England was a couple of days ago.
I thought England was today.
That
Was
was
it?
today.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
today?
Whew, that's the first time I've ever gotten a sports question right in my life. Wow. High fives, everybody.
High
Nice,
five.
that's okay. There you go. Nice. Like whenever my family plays Trivial Pursuit, we all do really well, and then we just go around forever with no green wedges. Just nobody can
Yeah.
get any of the green wedges
No,
right. Because my family doesn't like sports and almost nobody drinks, and so those are the only two
Is that what green is about?
sports and liquor. Yeah.
Oh, huh.
It's technically sports and leisure, but all the questions are about sports or liquor.
Oh,
So,
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Danger Zone. Yeah, we're always working on bug fixes. Every time we put out an update, there are a lot of bug fixes that we don't include in the patch notes just because they're so numerous.
Yeah, and a lot of them are really small, where it's like,
like I just, for instance, I just made a small change to the description of the first aid kit for a future update. I don't need to make a patch note about that. It's self-explanatory. If you see the first aid kit, it'll explain. You'll see the change.
Yeah.
So and we didn't change what it did. It just changed how we explained it. So that doesn't make the patch notes. There's lots of little stuff like that all over the place. Sometimes we don't want you to know about our bugs because we're embarrassed. And if we don't have to tell you, we don't.
Well, and that's what makes the bug stream so much fun.
Yeah, exactly. Because Joe gets to expose all of our weaknesses to us. So 3 minutes until we get started.
All right, Scar, I'm going to go ahead and launch the game.
This time I think it was just this group. Okay. Yeah.
Bye, guys.
All right.
See you later, Brad.
I'll join as soon as it's up.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so I guess we can get the game started. Let's watch the loading screen, not on the official part of the stream. Let's watch it during the pre-show.
Yeah, let's avoid that.
The nice thing about an open world game is that you don't have a bunch of loading screens in the middle of the game.
That's true.
No one has to watch it except at the very beginning.
But you have one really long one.
It's one really long one. We're looking into that, seeing if we can improve that situation. But for now, yeah, still kind of a really long one.
Always improving.
There we go.
That's the goal, right?
Thanks,
Yeah.
Megan, for putting the patch notes in the chat.
Yay!
Oh, cool.
Megan.
Yeah, that's very helpful. So we'll talk through them. But yeah, I think the ones that we actually had, most of these fixes were not fixes that we specifically in here did, so we might not have a lot of insight into exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Joe probably knows them better than the rest of us, because he's the one who talks to people who are having the problems.
Yeah, Mafika, the reason we have surprise loading screens is so that you don't have surprise falling through the worlds.
Yeah, exactly. If you had to choose between surprise loading screens and surprise falling through the world, you'd probably pick loading screens. We imagined. That was the call that we thought you'd want us to make. Look at all these humans.
Why are they all? What are they all equipped with? Jeffrey, what is this stuff?
You've got how did you get that fireworks gun?
What?
Oh yeah, that's
What
right.
is
This
this
is the year anniversary of the Independence Pact. We might be talking a little bit about the Independence Pact today. We'll have to see.
Oh.
But probably not going to be using it right this second though.
Oh no.
We got 1 minute until the proper stream begins.
Yeah.
Scar, am I going to be able to lean on you pretty heavily, or should I actually equip a real gun?
Oh, you should definitely equip a real gun.
All right. So I'm not saying Malik is pretty awesome, but look at that. Look at those traits. Look at that.
I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So obviously subsistence farming is able to level all the way up. One bug that I recently just fixed, not out in the wild yet, is butchery and gymnastics can now actually level up in our local build. So we'll be able to share that with you guys at some point in the future.
What's the other one that's out there?
Yeah, it's butchery, it's gymnastics.
Vigilance.
Vigilance.
Thanks,
Vigilance,
Scar.
obsession, field
Vix.
testing.
Vic and Isaac, right?
Yeah, that's Vic and Isaac. Obsession and vigilance. Kind of the same basic idea, but just framed in more positive and negative ways. Oh, look, it's 2 o'clock. We should get started.
Yeah.
You guys all ready? Let's do this. Hey there, survivors! Welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I am your host, Jeffrey Card, and you can see right here sitting next to me is Leah Rivera. Leah,
Hello, everybody.
what did you do on State of Decay? Actually, we should ask you what you did on Heartland. We're playing Heartland today.
Thanks.
I wanted you to tell the audience what you did on Heartland.
I worked on the beginning, arcs of missions. So the starter arc from when you very first load in all the way up through when you meet the Santoses or Wilkersons till the end of that piece.
So all the special
The
stuff
siege.
about Quincy and Larice, right up until the point where their stories converge and they start dealing with the whole gauntlet situation.
That's what I worked on.
So Leah knows all about that stuff. So you guys have any questions for Leah? That's one of the things we'll be talking about today. But we've also got a second guest, and that is
We
Joe
do.
Swarner. Hey
Hello,
there, Joe.
everyone.
Hello. So what are you here to talk about, Joe?
Well, my favorite thing to talk about, and it's bugs. It's bugs.
That is
Everybody
right.
loves bugs.
So we actually want to start doing regular bug streams where Joe actually walks through the bugs that we know about in the game that he's been getting a lot of reports from players about, and talking through workarounds and our plans for fixing them, things like that. So Joe's going to be doing that. And then at the same time, we've even got another guest who is not in the room with us. ScarProof, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Cool. So ScarProof is going to actually be Joe's co-op partner. So we've only been playing in single player thus far on these streams. But right now, Joe has actually got a partner in the game who's, ScarProof is bringing some of his own people, some of his own equipment from the base game into Heartland, and these two are going to be gallivanting across Trumbull Valley, just having a good old time. So thanks for being here, ScarProof. And yeah, so we should kind of get started. So let's start with some questions for Leah. So you guys in the chat, I'll be monitoring if you've got any questions for her, or if you've got any questions for me or Joe or whatever. Just it's chaos, whatever. We'll be going back and forth. But okay, so you had to build at the beginning of the game 2 parallel storylines at the same time.
So many missions.
So how do you So how do you approach that? Like, is there anything you do to make the workload of having to do basically 2 storylines at the same time a little better?
Well, the nice thing is that I was able to make them kind of like parallel each other, because then you also have the fun like interplay between the two. Like if you play all the way through the Wilkersons, like you run into like story points from the Santoses and vice versa. So that helped a lot with the scope of things, because then I could build the missions out in one chain, test them so they at least worked enough, like just that basic structure, and then duplicate it out, which is a very nice workflow.
So players will notice that like the Wilkerson side and the Santos side have about the same number of missions. Like you kind of plotted them out to be next to each other. Like did you have a favorite one to work on? Like a side that was like that spoke to you especially?
Gosh. I think the Wilkersons.
How come?
Because they're jerks.
And Leah, as you all know, is famous for being a giant jerk. So those are her kindred spirits, the Wilkersons. You can just tell from your entire demeanor what a jerk you are.
Right?
Totally.
But
most
so you
disagreeable
started.
person.
So did you actually start building them like they were just one chain of missions and then split them apart?
Yeah, because then that got all like the basic functionality down. So like I knew like my objectives were working correctly, and like the passing from one mission to another was working appropriately. Then I can duplicate them out, and then I can make them their own unique little things.
Is it a little bit painful when you have to duplicate them and you know from now on any bugs you didn't fix, now you have to fix them all twice?
Yes! So much so, especially with the Santos arc, because we originally said we just wanted one of each of the starters to be able to go all the way through the arc. But then we're like, but it doesn't really make sense for Helena not to keep following this like mission they got from Lily.
Right, like
totally
Fiona.
Release the Reese and Fiona. But
yeah, because Fiona's like skeptical of Larisse's whole deal, right? And so if Larice dies, Fiona's like, well, screw this crap. I'm not doing this anymore. But like Helena is an equal partner with Quincy.
So then, after I duplicated I started with the Wilkersons, and I duplicated that to Santos, and then I got those all nice and differentiated, switched some missions around, and then we decided to let Helena also do it. So then I took that almost done Santos mission and duplicated it again.
Yeah. And so now, anytime you find a bug in the Santos missions, you have to fix that 2 times.
Twice. And then I go double check the Wilkerson one if it's something pretty fundamental to make sure that it wasn't also a problem we just hadn't found yet there.
And then you also, like, you don't know at what point along the line Helena or like Quincy might die, right? And so the assumption is you're going to go through with Quincy as your main character, doing most of the talking, and it's all about his thing. But you had to make it possible to jump tracks.
Yes.
Anytime along the way.
We did.
So I mean, just like the logical tangle that you ended up with.
Oh, it was so fun.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, especially since we don't do mid-mission savings. So like the compromise we had to make there was that you just have to start that mission over again.
Yeah.
Because we just didn't have that checkpoint system that we then ended up.
We ended up making a checkpoint system. Yeah. But the kind of checkpoint system we have, it's not the kind of thing where the game is just smart and it just figures out where you are and then restarts. It's like you had to meticulously make each checkpoint to reset up all of the bowling pins basically to get knocked down.
Exactly.
I have worked with systems like that. I didn't have to do it. We didn't have any checkpoints in my missions because my missions were the optional side missions. But yeah, you had to do it. And I've worked with systems like that before, and it can be. I mean, it feels good when you finally get the checkpoint exactly right.
It does, and it's just like, ooh, yes, this is a beautiful little piece. But yeah.
But
so
doing it.
The great thing about a checkpoint system is that it's really fun for QA to break it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun. So
appreciate the
actually,
breaking.
Mov3Co wants to know which mission was the most bugged during development.
The starter arc by far.
Is it the very beginning?
The very beginning, those two missions. Just because they have to like present so well, because like that's your first introduction to the game. So like there's a lot of little like individual person placement and messaging that had to go into there.
Like trying to get
draw
the
you
feral in
in
the right spot so that like you
Yes.
encounter it under the right circumstances. And then
Uh-huh.
if you shoot it, it doesn't just stand there and take it forever.
Yeah. Or if you shoot it early, it doesn't break.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Because for a while, like you had like its AI turned off, and you could just shoot
Yeah.
it to death, and it would just
Yep.
be like, huh?
Yep. So I was like,
What's
okay,
going
well,
on?
I guess I can't do that. Yeah.
Well, and
So yeah, setting up that very careful like progression, and then going back and having to like catch all those edge cases and like refine that was definitely the most time I spent with that mission. Yeah.
So, and actually, one of the ones that was actually toughest for me to deal with bug-wise was there's the missions. Okay, so if you actually completely lose both of your starter characters, you jump to an alternate version of their story that can be done by anyone. And because like I had a lot fewer missions on my plate and Leah had a lot more, sort of like folks decided let's move those two alternate versions of the missions from Leah to me. And I had no idea what I was doing with those because I hadn't built them from scratch. And so like I was trying.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. So I was trying to fix bugs, but I had no idea. Like I was just completely confused. So I bugged you so often to help me figure out what was going on. That might as well have just left them on you. Like you were basically solving all the problems.
No doubt.
So actually, Joe, Court 88 has a question for you.
okay.
How about that pyro launcher mission bug? New infestation every login has passed annoying. So we actually ran into that when we were setting up today.
Well, I've run into it. We have a bug on it. We're gonna be looking into it and try to get it fixed.
It's mine.
However,
It's mine too. I haven't seen that one yet.
well, it's coming.
Yeah.
Yay!
So I imagine that it's going to be just a matter of making sure that somewhere along the way the variable that set that mission was complete probably is now just completely resetting every time you relaunch. And so it probably won't be that big of an issue to fix.
Yeah, it might not even be a mission scripting issue. Like it might not even end up in your plate. Like who knows? It could be something in code that's causing it to.
Yeah,
to
and
happen all the time.
it could be just a very simple fix on the back end. And in the meantime, it kind of stinks. But one of the things that I've noticed is that if you just keep one pyro launcher, you don't have to do too much about it. Like you can just go kill the infestation, and that one's over.
So you don't have to go and like collect
Right.
Collect the splat up every single time.
Right. Exactly. So there are some workarounds, and not to mention like the pyro launcher is already one of my favorite guns, and so I don't mind. But what is kind of annoying is that when you've called in the pyro launcher, if you've done it already once for free, it now costs you 1,000 influence. So I mean, I can see how that gets a little bit spendy, and is kind of an annoying bug. But as Mafika pointed out earlier, like sometimes we find really bad bugs, and so the bugs that get to you, yeah, they're annoying, but they're not nearly as annoying as the ones I can't tell you about.
Real quick, before we move on to any other questions, I should point out that we've got a giveaway going on today. We're actually going to be giving away a bunch of these Bronto
cute,
gas
guys.
pins. Oh, actually, yeah, you can't see that very well. Let's show you right here. So right there, Alan gave us this beautiful shot of the garbage on his desk and also the State of Decay 2 pin. And you'll notice there's a slight green tint to it. That's because these glow in the dark, guys. These are
I
great.
didn't know that.
Yeah, you can take
Oh
yours
my
home.
gosh.
She got one.
I have one, but I apparently didn't look at it in the dark.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. I don't spend enough time in the dark. So I didn't realize these were either until Alan pointed out what a big deal it was to make these glow in the dark. So anyway, we're giving away 5 of these. So what you got to do is type that into the chat. Type enter into the chat with an exclamation point at the beginning. And I expect to see a nice big spam of that. Yes, I'm already seeing a nice big spam of that. So 5 of you are going to win these. So around, I don't know, 2:45, we'll probably cut it off around the time we're starting Community Spotlight. So get your stuff in by then, and hopefully we'll be able to announce some happy winners. So make that go away. So Mr. Dart wants to know, Leah, was there any particular reason for not making the stories diverge even more?
Time. Yeah.
Basically it? Yeah.
It was a time thing. So, like, we do the best we can with the time that we have, right? And we had a pretty constrained schedule for this one. So building them out, then duplicating them, differentiating was a lot faster than making them all, like, individual to begin with.
Yeah, so I'm actually pretty impressed by how well, like, the story team, because I didn't join the story team until after a lot of the plans were already laid. You guys planned out a storyline that fit really well within the time that we had, with all of the shortcuts we did to try to make it fit. Like, I mean, we had to cut some stuff, but not nearly on the level I would expect a team like ours on that kind of tight schedule to have to cut. So, well done, guys.
Thanks.
And in case anybody missed that, ScarProof did not just totally go underneath the earth on an incline.
Okay, good. And that would have been
He's
embarrassing.
holding that guy for you.
Yeah, I could just knock his head off right there, see?
Let's see here. So, other questions we've got. Steve-069 has a question that many people have, which is, are we ever going to make this a core map, make Trumbull Valley a core map? And we don't have a solid answer for you. We are kind of looking into the options. This map was specifically built for Heartland in a way that makes it difficult to easily make it a core map. There's a lot of things that core maps rely on that we just simply didn't even attempt to do with Heartland. So while this supports Heartland really, really, really well and is an interesting, fun place to drive around, it's a lot of work to make it a core map. And so a lot of the decisions we have to make behind the scenes are, we could spend all of the time to make this a core map, but if there's, say, other plans we have in the works that might be even cooler, we might decide to do those first. So you guys stick with us, and we'll see what we roll out over time, and hopefully you'll be satisfied with whatever we do, whether we end up doing exactly that particular request or not.
All right, Jeffrey. So I'm at one of the bugs.
Okay, yeah, please.
Let's
Let's have a look at these bugs.
That we have a workaround for, and there should be a fix coming soon. So one of the bugs that we found in 9.0 is that Captain Logan's missions from the Doctor's Outpost up here, right there, from the abandoned barn, would often get blocked. And so people who could turn these two into outposts, if you have these as outposts during those missions, it is possible that what you're running into is a blocker. And the workaround is so simple.
Just don't have them be outposts?
Abandon the outposts. And everything goes just fine. So I've answered that question quite a few times since 9.0. I know that we have a fix coming for it. So it's out there. So hopefully it gets to you guys soon.
And the fix is just preventing players from making those into outposts.
Right. And it's not like they're end all be all outpost, right? Like this one's like, oh, I get a permanent safe area in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. And this one's like 2 beds, which you can pick up
from lots of different houses,
lots of
right?
different places over here near Marshall. So we're not going to be like taking anything away that's too significant.
That had one of my favorite location names, Cluttered Disaster of a House.
Cluttered Disaster of a House.
That's like my house.
I was actually thinking of my own house at the time, yeah.
Kids suck.
Yeah, it's interesting, though, because a lot of the tools that we had that we used to build missions were built for our very random, open-ended core game. And so a lot of the way that our missions work, it doesn't say, okay, send the player over here and then make them go over here, make them do this. The first thing it does is it's like, hey, can I have this house? Is this house busy?
Yes.
Can I find a house that isn't busy? And so
we request a lot of things in our missions.
Yeah, it's like we have to each mission has to request to have a thing, and if it doesn't, if the request can't be satisfied, then the mission doesn't fire, which is fine in the open-ended game.
It worked really well in the other maps.
Yeah, you don't even know about the missions that you're missing out on because But in Heartland, if you're missing one mission, the whole thing just
totally.
Okay. Oh, well, let's go back to So I had one bug that I wanted to talk about. This is one that's it's going to be solved in a future build. But Ringer from Discord, who I hope you're listening, Ringer. Ringer from Discord sent me a bunch of screenshots of. He's assembled an entire team who have no nicknames. All of their characters have blank nicknames.
Oh my gosh.
And the reason why, there was this one little place where I think I had accidentally pushed a wrong button while I was messing with the name system. So I was on the last name Castellano. and I hit the plus button on nickname, and then left and never put a nickname in. And so if you have a character named Castellano, there's a very good chance they're going to have no nickname right now. And so if you want to, if you want to have a character with no nickname, just re-roll them until you get a Castellano. And but you've only got a limited time to do it, because the next time we update the game, it's going to be fixed.
Yeah, Magic Man that does 79 has also been putting one together.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Magic Man also did. Yeah, so I think it was both of those. I've heard about it from multiple people. So yeah, so that was crazy. So the bugs like that are fun though, right? Because the people who have actually gotten those no-name characters actually kind of treasure them and want to hold on to them. And the fix for the bug, I think I gave the character a new nickname, but like once you've got a nickname on a character, it's just saved to that character. I can't change it. There's nothing I can do about it. So people are gonna have these very rare characters that just last forever.
Ooh, yeah.
Kind of like the old Red Talon outfits, the way people used to get them with the Warlord Weapons for All mission.
Oh yeah, before we actually made those freely available to Daybreak owners.
Yeah, it's possible to have people who are there in their full Red Talon gear, but
and I wonder, and a lot of the players out there who are really into army outfits managed to get a handful of them before they were bugged and we had to remove them from the game, and so they're like these very treasured special army characters that are out there in the world that hopefully someday we'll be able to give you guys more access to that, but we'll have to see how that goes. Someday in the future. What else is going on?
But not today.
Yeah.
All right, hey Scar, could you start banging in and out of these doors here?
You want to show how the doors are broken?
Well, they may or may not be completely broken, but just walking around and opening the doors, and let me know if that same issue crops up again.
I just phased through that door.
Like
nicely done.
Just completely phased through it.
This completely phased through. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, I opened
there you
it
go.
From the outside and wound up in the backyard.
Yeah. So he went. For anybody who's missing
and
this.
now I'm back.
All right. Hey, why are these guys using fireworks to fight off the zombies?
Do you guys just load up all of the characters with fireworks guns?
What? What are you talking about? Why would we do that?
That had to take a lot of work, grabbing Independence Pack content and funneling it in one character at a time to equip all these characters.
Why would we do that? Why would we do that?
Happy 4th of July, everybody! Yeah. It's not quite 4th of July unless you're watching this on YouTube later. So Dusty Snipes wants to know, has the character movement speed been changed since release? I feel the movements have gotten slower but smoother. So I know that we have been working steadily. We always are working steadily on trying to improve on stuttering and jank and weird, any little details that we can fix about animations. We often try to fix, and so we're actually putting a more concerted effort into it now than we have in recent years. So it's possible that you guys have seen some improvements there. Nothing that was huge and sweeping enough for us to feel like we needed to put a big patch note in about it. I mean, the last thing we want to do is say, we've fixed character jank, and then everyone goes in and they're like, no, you haven't, because you only fixed a couple things.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Man, whoever built up this community gave them a lot of stuff.
Cheers.
Let's see here. Some of these questions.
More questions?
So Pluto70 wants to know, can we bring legacy characters into Heartland?
It depends on how you really want to answer that question, because the technical answer is yes. But the probable answer to what you're actually asking is most likely no.
Are you mostly just talking about multiplayer characters?
Yeah, so multiplayer, you'll notice that when ScarProof came in, he's not actually playing a character from the Heartlands, he's playing a Red Talon operative. And so any characters that you have that are in your legacy pool or in an active community, you can go ahead and bring them in. But in terms of your own game, single player, no, you get these handcrafted, specialized, and only available in Heartland characters right here.
Because a lot of our missions, like the dialogue and stuff like that, actually branches based on which character you're playing. And characters have opinions of each other and stuff, right?
They do.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a lot of work to do.
Because each time somebody talked, right? You had to there's some places I think where Andy just gave two characters the same line in terms, like
Yes.
as far as the game's concerned, it's the same line, but it's actually expressing different stuff depending on who's talking.
That's the kindest way to do that for us.
Yeah, because then Andy has to worry about it, but the rest of us don't.
We make one scene and plug in that line, and it just works for everybody.
Yep.
But then there's cases like when you are going out on any of the like Wilkerson or Santos missions, and like, is Aunt Fee alive? Is Helena alive?
And if
Should
she
they be
is,
talking
she might have a
right now?
comment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all those little pieces are all hand scripted.
I gotta say though, this is probably my favorite part of Heartland right here.
The
is-
camp?
Nope. The
Oh,
fact that I
well, I
can
love
use
the camp.
fireworks again, and it distracts people.
Oh, instead of you, because you usually play Nightmare in the core game, where that does
Correct,
not
yeah.
work,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Right. So like usually playing Nightmare or Dread, and well, they don't care about fireworks once they see a human.
So we've got a bunch of questions in here about questions like, are we going to add this feature? And the answer to all of them is we can't talk about it if we are. But let me just go through them and just acknowledge them and be like, yeah, we know that those are cool ideas. One of them is, let's see here. Can we have Heartland difficulty levels? That is something we've talked about. It would take some work to make that happen, but it's not a crazy suggestion. We made it work in the original game. Doesn't seem like we, shouldn't be able to make it in Heartland. So the question is just when as opposed to other things. So that's it's on the list of things we'd like to do. We'll see when and if we get around to it.
You want me to make the siege even harder?
Yeah. So I gotta say, there have been so many people right after Heartland came out who are like, "Oh, this game is a breeze compared to Nightmare. This is no big deal." They get all the way until your Plague Siege, and then suddenly they lose 3 characters.
Sorry.
Those of you who like
no,
a hard game, though, Leah is on your side.
So Scar appears to be teleporting through the doors randomly
Oh god.
That's awesome.
now, pretty much consistently.
Yeah, if you go to the back door, you can actually watch me phase back to there.
So
Alright.
so
if
you're
like somebody,
busting
one of
through
your
one
friends
door.
is,
Back door.
Because
Okay,
these
I'm at the
doors,
back
they all
door.
like
I just
share.
opened the door. I'm not.
They all share something in common, and
Like-
the game has trouble telling which door is which. Is that? Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa! Whoa! Nice.
Poof.
That was amazing.
So that's a bug that's in there, and we know what the source is, and we're working on getting a fix in.
It's pretty amazing, though.
But
The
you know,
game
this
just
is
doesn't know
also-
which door
this is
you went
also-
through, so it
This
just
is also
guesses.
just a pretty benign kind of. It doesn't do a lot to you.
Yeah.
There's another one that I do worry about when it comes to teleporting, that I know most people. Scar, do you want to try the fall through the world thing?
Is he gonna lose a character?
No,
Go
he
ahead.
won't lose a character.
Because speaking of teleporting, by the way, another question we got was Exorkai wants to know, are we going to add teleporting between outposts in the future? So that was actually on the original design document for State of Decay 2, was that outposts, when you made an outpost, not only could you recruit other characters from there, you could also just teleport home and use them as fast travel points. We decided against that just partly because it was such the game was already easy, and it would affect the difficulty luck because it would mean that you wouldn't have to actually cross the distance between home and outpost. You could just teleport all over the map, and it felt like we were kind of removing one of the challenges from the game. But at the same time, like once you've been playing the game a long time, you're very comfortable in the map. And it's that theoretically you actually can teleport characters to you when you're switching characters. It doesn't seem completely unreasonable. So we would just have to. It's on the list of things we might consider in the future. It's not super high priority right now because there's other things that might be even neater that have beaten it in priority. Captain Cavalier wants to know, is the next game going to have as much Blood Plague? And is it going to be multiplayer or story focused? And we can't answer questions about future games. So
We can't even answer questions about future releases.
yeah, we're hoping that sometime in the future we get to the point where we're confident enough in our pipeline that we've built that we will be able to talk about things a little further in advance than we have in the past. But for right now, certainly an entire future game, if such a thing were to exist, that is in an arena where we cannot discuss things. So the Epic Zombie wants to know, can we add an animation for filling up the car with gas? That's interesting. So one of the challenges with that is the fact that your car could be anywhere. Your car could be up against a bench. Your
That's
car could be
true.
on a slope. Your car could be by a rock. It could be by a cliff. There's so many places your car could be, and getting
Hold
your
that gas
character.
can higher.
Yeah, just your car's up above you. Like Mum Prance has parked the car on the roof, and now you're trying to interact
You
with
still
it.
have to get to the interact.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah.
do want to say that I'm rather excited for our community spotlight.
I just mentioned Mum Prance, and Joe, for some reason, is excited about our community spotlight today.
I don't know. I don't know what's up with that.
So there are technical challenges with that. Doesn't mean it's impossible. And we definitely have been looking for places like that where it's like where the game currently kind of gets all video gamey and cuts corners. There's some places where we like that. Like one change we made in Heartland was picking up plague samples off the ground. Doesn't have an animation. You just bing, boom, 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 they're all gone. And so we're looking into ways to make that look have a little higher fidelity than it currently does.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh yeah,
there.
what you got?
I wanted to show you guys a bug
Please.
Oh, okay.
that we've left so far. I know that it's written, but so far we've left it because it's in the player's favor. Where if you knock a juggernaut into this section and then beat it to death with melee, you get double the influence.
Oh.
Yeah, counts it twice
Interesting.
if you just beat him to death instead of actually executing him.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say just beating his dead body
Yeah.
would get you influence.
No.
Because that would be amazing.
That would be
Pinata?
that would be a super exploit.
We should, if that was true, we should just leave it in there and then make an achievement for it. That's just like beating a dead horse.
Right?
Right? Do it 10,000 times.
So Amarga Vita wants to know why are certain base game character models locked away? There's a few different possible answers to that question. So we've got characters like Sasquatch and and Lily. And we made all of those characters, all the characters you hear on the radio, we made those characters so that we could have portraits for them that show up next to the subtitles, stuff like that. And we locked them away because we don't want them to die in your game. They're like characters who last forever, you know? What else is there? There are certain models that are reserved for NPCs. Like we've got like the preppers. They look different from everybody else. It's the prepper models. I think we use them for like the zombie hunters or something like that. Yeah. And the zombie trappers. And they look different from everybody else. And so we want it to feel pretty unique to those characters. Similarly, like the doctor and the soldier from the tutorial, we don't use those models outside of the tutorial because we want those characters to be distinct from the tutorial. So there's lots of different reasons why we might. Maybe you've just, it's possible, I don't know which models you're thinking of. Maybe there's models that you guys have found that we just haven't yet released. So have fun with your data mining.
Please don't. Please don't. No data.
Oh yeah,
mining.
so Wade Johnson actually had the same question. They say that the character skins for Sasquatch and Lily are available on the PC. Why not make them available via DLC? They're not available on the PC. People modded that stuff in. We don't want those characters to be playable in the game. They're intentionally just radio characters who we want to be a consistent part of the franchise, the whole story going forward.
Well,
So
I think some people actually just created like their own Sasquatch by adding beards to some of the models that exist already in the game.
that's even more modded than I thought it was.
Yeah. We don't really support modding. In fact, the fastest way to not get technical support is to tell me you modded your game. Because at that point, it's not that I don't care. It's just that I don't have time to go through the width and breadth of all things that could be modded and what in there could be breaking the game. So,
But we don't actively fight it either. Like we don't ban people who mod or things like that. And so so there's a lot of people who do it because they know they can kind of get away with it. But it does kind of come with its risks and costs. And by the way, when Joe talks about being the one who deals with a lot of people who are dealing with bugs, it's because he's the guy who runs support.stateofdecay.com. So when you go to support.stateofdecay.com, you can get answers to questions about bugs. Like if you're held up in the game and you can't make any progress or something's really plaguing you, go to support.stateofdecay.com because we want to know what's going on with you. Joe will help you will try to help solve the problem with you, and then if it's something that might affect everybody, he'll write a bug and we'll try to get it fixed so that you could be the canary in the coal mine that saves everyone. So go to support.stateofdecay.com if you've got a serious persistent bug with the game that's holding you up. Let's see here.
So, Are we still talking about features?
Yeah, sure.
Are
We can
or
talk
are we
about.
onto my bug list yet?
Go through your bug list. Let's.
I forgot what it is.
Let's do it.
That's why I wrote
Here it
down.
is. It's right. You can read that if you want.
Okay, so, Leah, I've got a question for you. So there's this bug.
What is that?
You
question?
said that there's the starter arc that you basically like ends when you claim Jurassic Junction, and then there are the personal arcs. And during those personal arcs with Larice and Quincy, in the first mission where you're supposed to stop and talk to Malik,
If he's alive.
and he's alive, right?
Yeah.
All of
There's
these things.
another option
Assume
if
that
he's not.
everyone is alive in this case.
Okay.
So, Aunt Fee or Helena, depending on who you've chosen for your starter arc, will just suddenly start following you
They do.
until you go and talk to Malik,
They
when they
do.
actually start acting like a follower instead of just wandering around aimlessly.
Yes.
So, could you enlighten us as to how that fix went? Since I know you've already fixed it, and
Well,
we're going to be shipping it out.
Fixed is a strong term. I made it better.
So what was the problem? I don't think I fully understood it actually.
So I'm using the move to character like AI thing rather than the follower. So we have two ways to get someone to follow you in the game. We have a move to action, and then we have to set them as an actual follower. And setting them as an actual follower has a lot of baggage around it, and the move to doesn't. So before I realized the move to looked completely weird, I used that. So,
But that turns off. Does that turn off some of their behaviors, and basically all they want to do is follow you?
yeah,
Or?
they don't get into cars, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the big one is they don't get into cars. So, but I wanted to set up like a little cinematic moment where like your aunt or Helena like run up to you and be like, "Hey, no, I'm coming with you, friend, because I'm not letting you go out there alone in this very first foray into like the reason we're here." So I wanted to set up the little moment of where you're all together and then they say, "Hey, I want to come with you," and the only way I could do that was to like use the move to, and hope for the best. But then when we put the timings spaced out between the missions more, you could be totally away from base, like across the map, and that mission would start, and they'd start running at you. And they would go to you from anywhere, because they just really love you guys. They just, yeah.
So in some future update to the game,
Yeah.
that's gonna be
so
fixed.
It's made better in that I will wait for you to get back to base before having them move to you. So I'm still trying to get that cinematic moment correct. Like it still might need more fixes, but this is my first little attempt to fix the most egregious part of it.
And it's tough, like as a mission designer, I imagine like you're often picturing like the perfect version of how a mission's going to go in your head, right?
Yeah.
But you've also got this huge open world game with a lot of freedom at the same time, and trying to figure out like.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about like navigating that weird space, like there's no really perfect answer.
Yeah, so you just have to try and think of as many scenarios as you can. Like, just usually try and just delve into the worst case scenario, and then like that'll usually knock out a bunch of like bad ones. But in this case, like I just totally didn't think of you being away from base, because when we had originally set it up, they were all back to back, like they're happening immediately and all that kind of stuff. And then we inserted a mission between it too to get you out of base, because the thought was that like, oh yeah, you're gonna finish the starter arc, and then we're gonna hand you the thing. We're gonna give you a little while to like figure out your base, and then we're gonna hand you the next mission, because that's why you're here. But then we spaced it out and inserted another one, so yeah.
Yeah. And it's like changes like that. Like you'll make the perfect solution for one situation, and then
Yes.
the situation will change. Like,
Yeah.
When I was doing the Isby mission, for instance, I set everything up for the gas station where like a bunch of zombies spawn as you're approaching, and it's full of zombies. You got to clear out all the zombies, and it worked great. And so I just copied and pasted what I did there over to the water tower. The problem is, our zombie spawning system tries to spawn zombies out of sight. And so when you're at the gas station, they can all spawn inside the gas station, behind pillars. They can spawn in all kinds of places. When you go to the water tower, there's nowhere you can't see. And so
Yes.
we would have this
Far
weird thing where
as
you
I
drive up to the water tower and you'd be like, no zombies. And like Isby's like, hey, you should clear out the zombies and then climb the water tower. And you're like, there's no zombies. This is great. So you just climb up the ladder, and then boom! As soon as your camera
soon as you
leaves
don't
the
look.
ground, there's like 19 zombies immediately underneath
Never
you,
turn
and you're
around.
just treed by all these zombies. So 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 because the gas station was challenging enough, and because the place where the Cleo drop lands is even more challenging, we're like, okay, maybe we can just not spawn those zombies and just not worry about it. So now I just spawn a feral that runs up and tries to keep you treed, and that's all I do.
Oh,
and that,
there you go.
That works a lot better.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that feral is there because it was just a disaster before. So.
And trying to figure out all those edge cases and all those little things that can happen, and like, it's a lot of stuff to think about.
What were you gonna say, Joe?
And that feral, he loves his job.
He runs up and he's just really happy to be there. Yeah.
Right. He's screaming at the top of his lungs. So happy to be there.
By the way, if you guys want to know more about the development of Heartland, we've actually got, we always post the videos of these streams up on our YouTube channel, but we also have posted a dev diary up on our YouTube channel, and it's production values are way higher than this garbage that we're making right now. So go check it out. Leah's in it.
I am.
And she is the most animated
I'm the
character
one
in
that's
the
moving
show.
everywhere.
So go check that out if you haven't yet. I'll try to, when I put this on YouTube, I'll try to stick like a card or something. I forgot what they're called up in the upper right corner of the screen. So if I remember to do that, you got an easy link, or I'll probably link it in the doobly-doo too. So go check that out if you can.
The rest of my list there.
Oh yeah,
Let's
let's
go
look
through.
at more of your
yes.
list there.
Okay, so Heartland Outpost.
Talked
We've
about You
already did
gone
that.
Through that. Client. Yep.
And
With
that
the doors,
one.
yeah. Now that you got the
Jurassic
door
Junction.
thing.
The dead don't always stay
Oh,
dead.
that one's mine.
Oh, that one's
That
yours.
was mine.
Jeffrey, go for it.
Okay, so something that we discovered. So whenever I was testing those side recruit missions, I would test the mission once. I would test deaths under certain circumstances. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this works, great. And I kick it off to QA. One thing that I never tried was playing all the way through the mission, recruiting the character, and getting the character killed, and then continuing to play for another several minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, when you get those characters killed, the game suddenly is like, oh hey, basically we've got these things we call fate decks that are always trying to make missions happen. And they're the ones that usually we use them to randomize the random missions of the core game. But in Heartland, we're just like, each mission has got a fate deck that's like, at least the side missions have got fate decks that are like, hey, is it time for this mission? Oh, no, it's not yet. Okay, let me try again. Is it time now? No, it's not. And so when Reba and Diana would die, the fate deck, it's still running in the background. And most of the other fate decks, they just say, oh yeah, nope, I'm done. I can't make a mission. But those ones, when we would make it would be like, oh, hey, I don't see Reba in the world anywhere. I don't see, her house isn't busy. Let's just make a new Reba mission. And so, so we would end up with Reba respawning. And so you'd get her killed, and then she would come right back. You get her killed again, she'd come right back. And we'd have infinite Rebas for as long as you wanted. Similar with Diana. Just infinite Dianas, as long as you want them. So I've fixed it now. Now there's a condition on those fate decks that checks to see, hey, have you ever recruited or killed Reba? And so, but that's fixed locally. If you guys want to have infinite Rebas, you totally still can out in the wild.
Yeah, and if you want infinite Diana's backpacks to take back to your main community,
that's true. Diana does have a pretty snazzy backpack.
you have a small window. Get on it.
Oh, Blaze Experience actually wants to ask you about the last bug you got on your list, Joe. He's asking about the Juggernaut Stagger bug.
Oh, yeah. So in doing a little of investigation, and it, partially, again, from some feedback we got from the community, we found, I think it was in 8.0, maybe. It was before this, but we found that essentially you can't do the first stagger on a Juggernaut with close combat weapons. And that's kind of disappointing because there are people who really like to challenge themselves, with these Juggernaut guys. So
if you literally couldn't kill him with a close combat weapon?
Well, you still can't. Here, Scar, just try to keep the rest of the zombies off me while I make a fool of myself and try not to get them.
By the way, while he's doing this, we've got about 5 more minutes of the giveaway being available. So if you haven't entered yet, enter.
2, 3, run. Okay.
Nice.
1. Ow.
Oh.
Ouch.
Ow.
Surprised you.
1. Dodge. Ow, I'm dodging into his stomach. That doesn't help. All right.
We should do a special animation for dodging into his stomach and just being stunned.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
So, 1, 2, 3. Now see, he still can't.
He's just never going to stagger.
He's never going to stagger.
Yeah.
I could sit here and I could do this all day long, and he's never going to stagger. I had gotten up to like 50. Clearly, he does not like me at all. All right, listen, Mr. Juggernaut. Here. By the way.
Would you just kick him in the face?
Yeah, I kicked him in the belly. Here you go. We're in the middle of the smoke now. Ow. Okay, so that one he didn't like me very much. But basically, I could do this all day. But the moment I switch to a weapon that has a knockdown rating, 2, and there's his first stagger. And after this, I can just take him down willy-nilly. Actually, hang on. Let me prove that I'm not just blowing smoke. So now we do this again with some CQC.
Oh, you don't need to prove to me that a game has a bug.
1,
Oh,
2,
yeah.
3. Uh-oh. No. You no touchy.
That's a nice dodge.
4. Dunk. Oh. All right. 2, 3. Where is he? He did
Yeah.
stagger, right? I'm not imagining things.
You've proved this
He
to
did.
my satisfaction.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyway, the idea is that like you can't stagger him the first time, but the others should be straightforward. You can do it. It just takes a long time.
There we go. Yeah, he's at least reacting now. We got a question from AJ Bryan. Wants to know LMGs. Are we ever going to get that class of firearm into the game? And so, right now, basically, I mean, we've got a couple of weapons that technically count as LMGs. Specifically, the BAR, I believe, is thought of as an LMG. That World War II weapon. It's in the World War II pack. And so, you know, if an LMG is a lot like an assault rifle, it's not that hard for us to get it in. The question is, like, the really large guns that feel like they need to have some more significant work put into them. We don't really have a lot of support for that right now. But we also do have a team of people who are really dedicated to trying to, you know, advance the cause of weapons in the game. So who knows what's possible in the future. Right now, we don't have anything we can announce, but yeah.
To quote Brant, the weapons in our game are essentially our magic swords, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what people like to collect. This is what makes the game, and especially the end game, far more worth it for a lot of our players. And so, you know, we will continue to add to that as much as we can.
Anything you want to do?
I don't know. They're just saying Brand's coming.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Brent says, Mark and I are sitting right here watching the stream.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, Brant, that you're happy with my representation of what you said then.
All right, so we are we're really close to Community Spotlight. I don't know if you guys want to start heading towards home.
Yeah, we're headed that way.
Okay, cool. Well, while those guys are headed towards home, I think Leah and I are going to watch some stuff that you guys have done.
Ooh.
So, Community Spotlight this time around. So, this is by Deathcraft on Twitter. He has built his own,
my God,
not built, I would say. He's customized his own DeWitt Handyman van, which is just crazy to me. So we, you know, we like taking Easter eggs from the real world and putting them in our game.
Uh-huh.
But he's made an Easter egg from our game and like put it in the real world, which is just
Wait,
blown my
isn't this
mind.
a game too, though?
This is what?
That grass looks pretty gamey.
Oh, that's
Is this
true.
the
Is that
Forza
fake grass?
No, that looks like real grass.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think it gets any more real.
I don't.
Anyway, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder.
Unless he somehow was able to put that into like, I
think maybe he's just up-res State of Decay 2 is what he's done.
The tweet that we saw this, the tweet that we saw this on did have the hashtag Forza Horizon 4. So
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's not the real
Right?
world. That's freaking Forza.
I know.
Microsoft, our parent company, congratulations. You tricked me to thinking that was a freaking real world. That's Forza.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I've spent so many hours
There's so many
customizing cars in Forza. It's ridiculous.
If there's artists on our team who are laughing at me right now because they obviously saw that was not the real world, and I'm just an idiot. But
all the artists.
if
yeah.
it makes you feel any better, Jeffrey, I'll take credit for being the idiot.
so I built an Undead Labs car in Forza Horizon, and I think it's great. They've got an amazing customization system, and now I'm gonna have to make a YouTube video of me making that mistake on the air. Okay, cool. Let's get off this real fast, and let's switch over to this picture. So this is from SideChat, the Gray, and this is just I couldn't quite
Probably
see it
not
at
real
first.
life.
Probably not. I don't know. I couldn't quite see this at first. Yeah, this is definitely not real life. But
It's a really big feral.
that is the biggest feral I have ever seen. It just happens to be real close to the camera. I think it's leaping that fence right into the camera right as they're capturing the screenshot. But
That's terrifying.
yeah, I know, right? It's like it looks like its head is the size of a human being.
Yes.
So very, very well
Right.
caught shot there, Side Chat. And then we've also got
you're
another
ready.
one. This one is from Fall Down Go Boom. So Fall Down, you might not be able to see it very well. He found his own name in there. So when we had Fall Down over here as our guest, and he was and he was here on the stream, we joked about adding his name to the game. Well, I did. I went right over to my desk and I added his name to the game. And so you can, if you get the weird nickname trait, there's a chance that the nickname you'll get is Fall Down Go Boom. And so he actually got his own Fall Down character, and because we like him, his name didn't suddenly change to Melange like it does for some people. Sorry, Fallout. Anyway. Yeah, so Megan's here in the chat. She told me it's from Forza, you idiot. She didn't say you idiot, but I think it's implied. Anyway,
we were both fooled.
I'm gonna stop talking about that. All right, so let's see this video from Guwawo. So this is
So creepy.
It's so creepy, right?
Yes.
So I believe that Mark and Brant could tell us a lot if they were here about level of detail. that basically everything in the world has got
Singing you a
different
song.
versions. What?
It's singing you a song.
Oh, it does kind of sound like, it actually sounds like the sound of bringing up the gun is like the sound of the chattering teeth.
Right?
It's like doing a little skeleton dance there. But yeah, like we've got different every model in the game has got multiple versions. So if you're far away, you get the crap version, and as you get closer, we switch. And usually they look similar enough that you can't see the difference. But this particular one
So have some changes.
is making some changes. So thank you for catching that, Guava.
Yes.
So now we got one of our long-term favorites, Mon Prince Cyclope, revealing to us how it is he's been getting these cars on the roof.
Oh,
Because
what?
while he was doing it, he managed to cause some unintended consequences. So this is from Mon Prince Cyclope. So he's just gonna get this ambulance. Watch what he's doing with the ambulance. And it hits his friend.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's great. So I imagine maybe he was going to eventually get that up on top of Jurassic Junction.
Yeah.
But didn't quite go
Not
the way he
quite
wanted.
there yet.
So no, let's watch that one
So
more
we
time.
need
just 'cause it's
more
fun.
curbs. I'm seeing, right? Curbs.
Yeah. So exactly. I think that's what he's doing. It's like finding little tiny pieces of collision he can nudge cars against. So thanks for sharing your techniques with us there, Mon Prince.
Very cool.
Crescent Empress did a very similar thing, not on purpose. So one particular zombie that she says looks incredibly dense.
Whoa. And it's in a tree.
She ends up in a tree,
goodness.
which is
Gold.
just great.
Oh no, that's such a nice van.
I don't know how she's gonna get out of there. That is a really nice van.
SUV? No, I don't
So-
even know. Cars. It's car.
I don't even know what a van counts as. And then we've got this one. I don't know whether to pronounce your name Raw X or just Rox. But this guy. So he's in Heartland, desperately fighting zombies with the last breath.
My God, lady.
Oh.
What the hell just happened?
Do it again.
So I'm pretty sure those sound effects were added in post. But
fantastic.
let's have a little bit of that again.
I want that.
My God, lady.
So-
What the hell just happened?
I'm always tempted when we find a really weird bug, not to fix the bug, but instead to just make a sound effect associated with the bug, so the bug's just happening like in a cartoon.
That's funny now.
And then last but not least, this one comes from Sailor Wolf. He calls this one Walking on Sunshine.
Oh.
So this
yes,
is
he
Brock.
Well, they are, I suppose. I don't know, Sailor Wolf.
So do you know how people do this, or do we want to keep that a secret?
So Magic Man 79 has tried very hard to teach me how to do this, and I have just been resistant to learning. But essentially what happens is people get up on top of very high places, like say, like a cell tower or whatever, and then they plant explosives at their feet, and then they get very close to the ladder, and then they blow up the explosives, which pushes them up one little bit, little level, and then they plant more explosives,
Oh my
and it
God.
pushes them further up, off of the ladder, and then they can walk around the sky like there's nothing.
You're all so good at this. This is awesome.
So Megan is currently tabulating the winners of our giveaway. So the folks who are going to be getting, I could show you this, or I could show you like this, the State of Decay 2 Bronto Gas
There.
glow in the dark
I
pins.
can't. I don't know directions. Whatever.
It's
That way?
that way. Yeah, just pretend that Joe is the giant
Joe's the
pin.
pin.
Joe's a pin.
I am a pin.
Yeah.
Yes.
When we reach this way, we actually can
Yeah.
almost touch Joe. Oh.
Almost.
I can touch Joe.
Almost.
Oh, yeah.
Ah. No.
All right, so Megan's working on getting us the winners for that. So we've only got like a short time left.
Thanks, Mark. They're giving me away, he says.
We only got a short time left. So one thing that we did like a year ago, pretty soon after the release of the original State of Decay 2, before Heartland, before Daybreak, before anything, we had our first DLC, which was the Independence Pack. Kind of, celebrating American Independence Day. This game is set in America, and so, you imagine that the people here, rebuilding our country is probably on the minds of a lot of these characters. So we thought some of them would want to celebrate. And so, we created the Independence Pack, which, it includes, a couple of vehicles, one of them made of meat for some reason.
Meat.
Because what could be more American than
You
meat?
dump the cow out of there.
Yeah, it dumps like cow carcasses out the back to attract zombies. It's got like a car with a big truck with flamethrowers coming out the side. It's got a car with fireworks all over it, and it's got a bunch of like fireworks weapons and and stuff like that. So
Okay, so I can't show you actually because it's on a different thing. But one of the stipulations for every survivor in my main community, which has survived now 240 some odd days, is that you have to carry a barbecue fork. And so like a barbecue fork is actually it's a close combat weapon that comes out of only the Independence Pack. For a long time, like the Independence Pack melee weapons, both the Freedom Ringer and the Grillmeister were like the only melee weapons that I would use, just because they're amazing, you guys. They're super
I love
super
that
awesome.
baseball bat.
yeah, that thing's crazy.
Nobody would. I mean, who wouldn't love like a red, white, and blue aluminum bat to just walk up
With
to
a big
zombie?
weight on the end.
Yes.
Exactly. To just walk up to any zombie, just be like, dong, and the sound
So much
on
fun.
it is just amazing
Yes.
too. Like I don't know if you've ever. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
We love it. I loved the Independence Pack ever since it first came out. So
Yeah,
It's
and
all-
we
it's pretty
also like around the time that it came out, we also released a bunch of zombies in Revolutionary War garb, which was some people loved and some people didn't like, and we created a settings option to turn them on and off because
Yeah.
some people were bothered by it. By the way, it looks like the winners of the giveaway were actually announced in the chat. I didn't realize because the chat was going by so fast. So congratulations to all you people who won, whose names I don't know. But I think so. To celebrate the fact that it's been a year since the Independence Pack came out.
She's got you. She's
Oh,
got
oh,
your
look!
back.
Oh, we got
Yeah,
winners.
Megan's
okay.
got us.
Megan's got it. So, Zombie Mommy, amazing name, wins. Bilbo, old friend Bilbo, who I've met. He's come to events and things like that. Bilbo wins. Ghost Talker wins. Ghost Stalker with a bunch of 7s in it wins. Twitch Lucille wins, and Wispy wins. So congratulations, everyone. It's Wispy, but it's spelled like
Two Vs.
The Witch. You know that movie that had 2 V's?
Yeah, I
instead
don't know
of
that movie, but I see the V's.
Yeah, it's like I can't tell if it's supposed to be Vispy or Wispy, but
Consummate fees. I said consummate.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Start going.
anyway, okay, so those are the winners. And so anyway, we wanted to celebrate. So Joe and ScarProof have come up with a way for us to celebrate the Independence Pack. The
All right.
year anniversary.
So, one of the things that I wanted to do that we didn't quite get around to was to call out for communities for the best fireworks kills. So we went back and forth over what would be the best place to do it. Like, last year I did it at the Barricaded Strip Mall. ScarProof was like, no, dude, Heartland. Jurassic Junction. And I'm like, oh, come on, Scar. Really? That's
What
how
could
this
be
is
more
gonna
American than a bunch of fiberglass dinosaurs?
Right, and a gas station, like lighting off fireworks at a gas station. This is an amazing plan, you guys. So I hope that you enjoy what we've put together. Scar, just let me know when you're ready, sir.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna drop the starter. Here we go.
Let's do it.
The sheer number of fireworks you guys have is insane.
Oh, many! I like the random zombie roars too.
Yeah, I'm sure the zombies are thrilled you're doing this.
Yeah. Look at all those noise pings. So good.
I can't wait for community members to start dying. I mean, nothing.
Wow. How many times did you call in the Independence pack?
Just enough to get the crafting station. And then
Oh, of course.
Ah,
that
yes.
makes so much more sense.
Craft all the things.
Mr. Dart's asking how many he's going to take to crash the game.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Let's see. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys, when are you going to run out?
I don't know. I don't think they will. Oh wait.
It might take a while.
It was a little.
We haven't even
less.
started with the Star Shankers yet.
Oh man, switch to the start tanks.
Oh, it's going to be 3 o'clock. We're going to go overtime just because you got so many fireworks.
Are you able to see him over there, Jeffrey?
Questions.
Oh yeah, I
It's
can
a
see him.
It's
Oh,
a
we got.
question if we would like to answer more questions.
Oh
while we
sure.
watch these beautiful
While we're doing
fireworks.
this, let's see here.
All right. Big finale.
Oh, what? There's even more.
There's more. Oh, there's a finale.
Just drop everything you've got. ScarProof.
It's got
All right. That's all of them.
Oh my
More.
goodness.
Whoa!
Fountains. The fountains.
Oh, I can't believe so many. That's ridiculous. Yeah, Faux Geoduck is like every zombie is seeing this. I think a couple people heard a screamer in the background.
Oh, there's like three screamers down there, a bunch of
Oh my
bloaters. I don't know
gosh.
if you guys can see the mini map.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't even been looking at the mini map. That's
yeah,
crazy.
It's
Look at
completely
that.
covered in pings. All
Wow.
the zombies.
Yeah.
Yep.
The dawn is like the mini map is just white.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Happy Independence Day, everybody!
Happy
Thank
Independence
you
Day.
Thank you for joining our stream. We love you
Very
all.
Oh, wait. You
Oh,
could
what?
also still watch him shoot, I guess. Maybe.
What?
No.
I can't see a thing.
I don't know what's gonna.
Well-
Joe can actually see from his own perspective right now. All I can see is.
Well, it
Man.
looks like the survivors are trying to fight off the Juggernaut.
Oh, that's wow. Let's see if we can catch
You
what's
wanna
going
see?
on there.
I see a bunch of red.
I
Here,
see.
you want to control this? I can't
What?
control the camera.
Oh, sure. Hi, everybody. Uh-oh. Someone died.
No, somebody just fired a sticky one.
Oh,
whoa,
did you watch that
bounced
one?
right off. That was crazy. Okay, we're overtime. We actually should go. So I really want to thank Joe Swarner for being on here, answering your questions about bugs, and setting up that whole ridiculous thing. You and ScarProof. Thank you so much, ScarProof, too, by the way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love to have you here.
No problem. That was fun.
And also, of course, Leah Rivera, thank you for coming here, answering our questions about missions, and just generally being fun to be around. Not just right now, but every day at the office.
Oh, thank you.
So with that, we will see you all later.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
But we got another 15 seconds now. It's
Oh, man.
anticlimactic.
So many fireworks.
I know.
That was so many fireworks.
Somebody when we were coming here, they were like, "Oh, I'm surprised to think, the game's gonna crash." Nope.
Hey, guess who?
Got this.
Guess who forgot to
Got
check
this.
the final outro text?
Oh no!
That's less embarrassing than the whole Forza thing.
Oh my gosh!
I swear to God, it looked like it was real.